do that for himself. But the guys are very determined and focused. They do want to get back into this ball game. They certainly aren't planning on backing down anytime soon, Mike.
Well, Phoenix the ball to begin the half. As you see the Suns' record when leading at halftime. Richardson going right back to work and wanted the foul as well.
And as we said, normally that would be Brandon Roy checking Richardson, and he doesn't post up Brandon Roy in that manner. So remember, this Phoenix Suns very good with assists because of Steve Nash. They average about 23 a game, so they can pass the basketball.
There comes the double, and as you said, the one change they made on blocking foul on Richardson. The one change they made in defending Aldridge, game one, they would bring an immediate double. Game two, they let Aldridge take a dribble or two and then brought the double. And that's what they're doing again tonight. LaMarcus looks like when he gets the catch, he's going to have some room. Then comes the double from Stoudemire. He spins back baseline this time and dunks it from Andre Miller.
Yeah, Collins, not the fleetest of foot, playing the defensive end, but he's a guy that'll start the game. He only averages about 12 minutes a game. They bring Channing Frye in. Of course, Lopez is out with injury.
Aldridge the block on Richardson.
And Lopez is the guy that started all the games. He possibly could play in the second round if they make it there.
Nash turns the corner on Miller. Grant Hill, hugely traveled the ball. Huge part of game two was Grant Hill, not so tonight. Well, a lot of the talk at halftime, a lot of the writers around back in the media area as you watch the lob here to Aldridge. The fact that in the last 6 quarters, Portland is a minus 58.
Yeah.
Now, granted, most of the credit here goes to Phoenix. And again, it wasn't like Phoenix hasn't been doing this. But the reason, what gave Portland fans hope after game 2, as we've talked about, was the fact that that was the different game. That was the unusual game compared to the 3 previous they had played, 4 including game 1 in the regular season and playoffs. Because you look back, in the first 3.5 games, Phoenix had only had 1/4 of 30 or more points.
Yes.
But now, in the last 6 quarters, 5 of them have been 30 points or more. That's the drastic turnaround that is, well, more than concerning if you're a Blazer fan.
Yeah, and a lot of it had to do with the Blazers in game 2 getting into early foul trouble, and it kind of disrupted their defense. And then Phoenix, really, you could see their backs were to the wall, and they came out and really played an excellent ball game. Nate is really trying to push it up now, as we said.
Backdoor pass hits the rim. Turns into a Portland turnover. Grant Hill, trouble with the ball in transition. Well, and as you said, any comeback effort against Phoenix, that's a hook on Hill, we go the other way. Any comeback effort against Phoenix only plays into their hands. It's like when you have an option football team that gets down 2 or 3 touchdowns, it is difficult to mount a comeback simply because you don't pass the ball. How do you score points?
Yeah.
For the Blazers, it's you don't run, so it's difficult to make up big deficits.
Well, it is without Roy in there. He's their half-court offensive guy, and he's not in there. One of your best runners if you were going to run.
Richardson gets it back somehow around 4 shirts, white shirts, and then has it knocked away and then going to challenge Pat Frayer. But Richardson, with the way he's played in the last game and a half, he deserves to blow off a little steam and have some leeway.
Well, he was slam dunk champ twice, so he's an athlete. He can leap. And now he's showing he can shoot.
Part of that high-powered Golden State team a few years ago. Shocked the NBA playoffs. And part of that trade the Suns made with Charlotte. Boris Diaw, Raja Bell were involved. And you got to give Steve Kerr, who's in the building tonight, the former Trailblazer, a lot of credit for how he has remade things in Phoenix. Miller takes the bump from Stoudemire, not enough for a foul, and the rebound finally dug out of there by Grant Hill. Miller not getting those calls that he was getting in Game 1 driving to the middle.
Yeah, and he got bumped a little bit, but it is the playoffs.
That's right. Stoudemire puts it down on Aldridge. Or excuse me, on Camby. And that's who gets the foul.
And the thing that is very difficult making a comeback in this type of situation against how Phoenix is playing, the crowd just cannot get into the game, and they want to so badly.
Murray along with the jumper, rebound Camby, number 8 for him. Camby had the big first game, 4.17 rebounds, 3 blocks in Portland's win. Again, Rudy not even looking at the three-point shot. And you've got an open 3 and you're down like this, you got to pull the trigger. Martell into traffic, nowhere to go. Aldridge bats that out. New shot clock. But again, Portland cannot be waiting for shot clocks to get down to 2 before attacking. Stoudemire against Aldridge. Webster, the backside jam.
Well, the Blazers, that's one of the few times that out-hustled Phoenix for a long rebound. And the crowd is back. That gives them a little hope.
Nash gets the timeout called before the turnover. And the crowd trying to get back involved. But when you've trailed by as many as 31, it's got to take a huge rally. Portland hopes it has that in them. Basketball side of things, and really got in there, got Shaq. Kind of went against what they are. Richardson cancels out any hopes of a Portland run there.
Well, they're
and then,
not
of course, Terry Porter was their head coach and was hired to teach the team some defense, did, and got absolutely torched for doing it.
Yeah, simply because of Steve Nash was a guy that loved to run, and they had Shaq who didn't love to run. So,
but what Steve Kerr has done since then, Andre dribbles that off his foot. That's the kind of night it's been. Rudy trying to save it, and does. Miller picks it up. New shot clock for Portland.
This Phoenix team won't.
Webster. Got the bump from Amari, but not enough. Stoudemire, nice job to affect it without fouling, and Phoenix digs it out. Aldridge, Camby gets it back. Martell Webster knocked it away. Martell has showed some pretty good energy here early in the half, playing for Batum. He's working hard.
But they won't panic. Nash has played 102 playoff games. Grant Hill has a gold medal in the '96 Olympics. So they've been through a lot, the veterans on this ball club.
Stoudemire put a hard pick on Andre. He didn't like it. Gave a little shove after the play. And you worry about that at this point because Portland's been embarrassed now for a game and a half by Phoenix. And Amari, of course, started the ball game off doing a bit of woofing and certainly has the right to after the way they've played the last game and a half. The Blazers, a prideful bunch that has been emotionally beaten up all year by the different injuries and such they have taken. Aldridge out on the open floor. Fouled hard by Grant Hill. He'll have to shoot free throws. Hill ends up in the first row. And if you're Alvin Gentry at this point, anytime a game gets like this, I suppose there is the threat that you can lose your edge by getting sloppy, and he doesn't want to see that happen.
Yeah, well, as long as Nash is in there, I don't think that'll happen.
But how long will Nash be in there?
Well, that's true. They'd love to give him a little more rest. Gentry this year, because of the improved play, won Coach of the Month twice this year.
Yeah.
And he didn't get a lot of votes for Coach of the Year, which
neither did Nate McMillan.
Yeah, well, Nate finished third, so he got
9 first-place votes.
And that's 8 more than Gentry got. So, you know, a lot of people in the East didn't recognize the fact that Nate lost 300 over 360 games to injury.